Is it just me, or did these back-to-back games feel like an early Christmas gift for a spot in the standings?
Habs come again, rim shot, score! For him to cut in, Jake Evans, score! Hits the trailer, Arbor Jack guy, score! Hudson, line eight, one-timer, tip, score!
To Nick Suzuki, score! Hudson, snaps it, score! Hudson to line A, he'll hold, throws it in front, score! Back to Dvorak, in front, Carmen scores! Drops it off, Gallagher, score! Yeah, 2 points, gotta love it, love the...
Yeah, I can't lie, this one felt a little dirty. After all the complaining I did about the ref calls in last night's game, Detroit kind of got the bad end of the stick on this one, literally. But a win's a win's a win, and you can't look a gift horse in the mouth, whatever that means. So let's recap this game, but first, I gotta do it to you. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of the community. We're scraping at 7,000 subscribers. This is bonkers because I was just scraping at 6. I didn't think it was possible, but after last night's video, can we make it to 7,000 before the new year? That'd be a huge gift to me. If you're already subscribed, don't worry about it. Just like the video, helps me out with algorithm stuff or something. And comment. I'd love to hear from you. So we start off every game the same way we start off every game. Let's look at the lineup for the Habs. You're going to notice a pattern here. And is it concerning? It might be concerning for one person especially, but let's look at our forwards. We have Caulfield, Suzuki, Slav, Newhook, Doc, Line, Anderson, Dvorak, Gallagher, Heineman, Evans, and Armia. On defense, our pairings are Hudson and Matheson, Lee and Carrier, Jacky and Savard, and finally, le gardien de but, Montembeault. So Montembeault playing back-to-back games. What does that say for Caden Primo? Well, Martin St. Louis was asked about this earlier today, and here's what he had to say.
Ouais, on vient que ça m'asseoir.
C'est quoi la réflexion en début de saison?
Ouais, Sam, je sais, mais Sam, il joue bien.
Et au gardien de but, avez-vous encore confiance que Caden peut gagner le match pour vous?
Je me concentre pour aller coacher une game. Merci, OK, merci beaucoup.
So it sounds like they've struck a nerve. Doesn't necessarily mean anything to me, although I think you have to be a little bit oblivious not to think that this means something. I mean, it's no secret that Primo has not been performing recently, and Montembeault has been putting in good hard work each game. I have opinions. I'm not going to mention them here, but I do think that NHL goalies can handle a higher frequency workload than what has been traditionally adopted by teams in the NHL. And I know that the numbers kind of work against that, but if your goalie's rolling a hot hand, I don't know. We used to talk about hot streaks all the time. And then you look at the S-tier goalies and how often they play. Is it that you come out the other side, maybe? Anyway, game starts off, it feels pretty even, but there's a different tone to this game. I think Detroit is a little bit angry. They're looking pretty good in the first period, and they're causing the Canadiens to make some mistakes and to scramble around a little bit. And that leads to the first goal of the game.
There, got it to the line, Sider, in front, chance scores, Joe Veleno!
Veleno's doing really good lately. He scored in last night's game as well. The coverage was weak on this play. I thought that Goalie was to blame for this one, but was it Savard? Anyway, we forget about pointing fingers and placing the blame because the tone, pace of the game, and momentum completely change after that, and it's all Habs from here on out.
Time for Hudson, over to Nick Suzuki, scores! Trying to find someone going to the net.
Yeah, that's Juraj Slafkovsky. His 4th goal of the season, his 18th point of the season. Season's not over yet for Slav. I think it would be an easy bet to take that he's going to beat last year's point totals. So although it was kind of a miserable season so far for goals, I'd like to think he learned a lot so far. Suzuki and Hudson get assists on that, and that's Suzuki's 200th assist as a Montreal Canadiens player, and that makes him the 4th Montreal Canadiens player to reach that benchmark under the age of 26 years old. We don't stop there. Again, in the first period, Evans gets a goal again, back-to-back games.
Armia kicked it up for Jake Evans. Evans cuts in, snaps it, scores!
This was assisted by Armia, but also, guess what? Carrier gets his first assist as a Montreal Canadien. Still in the first period, Alex Newhook drives the net with a nifty little move and almost gets rewarded, and then almost gets Lane Hudson rewarded with a goal off the rebound. Now, this is a weird storyline that happened in the game, and this is why the game felt a little bit dirty. Larkin is going to take a penalty here. Originally, it fooled the announcers. They thought this was a Canadiens penalty. it does look like Larkin has the break here, and Caulfield is caught a little bit flat-footed. He puts his arm in front of Larkin first, but they call Larkin for interference. I don't know. What do you guys think about this one? Habs go on the power play, and guess what?
Sets it up. Hudson to Laine. He'll hold. Throws it in front. Scores.
That's Patrick Laine with his 8th power play goal of the season so far. I think he's like the power play goal leader at this point. I think he's beating some teams in power play goals. This again, of course, was hooked up by Hudson and Zooks, and that makes it 3-1 Montreal. Let's go into the second period. This is where we get more from Montreal.
Can't get around Legason. Now he's back on the puck to Dvorak. In front. Heineman scores.
Emil Heineman puts Montreal up 4-1. I think this is back-to-back games, right, for Heineman? Devo had the assist on this, and with this goal, I believe this puts Heineman in 6th place for rookies in terms of points in the NHL. I still don't think he's in the short list of Calder candidates, but we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video, I think. Continuing the storyline with the penalty weirdness. Looks like Hudson is receiving a tripping call, although I would have called it interference. But then wait, it fools everybody again. Larkin is receiving another penalty for a tripping. Gru from Despicable Me is absolutely losing his mind, and I don't blame him. I'm on his side with this one. Maybe Larkin should have received the penalty, but Hudson was also guilty as well. Regardless, Detroit kills off that penalty, but then not long after.
Pass connects with Anderson. Drops it off. Gallagher scores!
Brendan Gallagher with an assist from Anderson and Savard. And we have something cool to talk about with this goal as well. That makes Gallagher pass Max Pacioretty for all-time goals on the Habs. I thought that was pretty neat. That's going to do it for the second period, 5-1 Montreal. Detroit narrowly misses a shot here that was tipped in front, but it would have been high stick anyway. Then the other way, Jake Evans, who has been busting his butt this entire game, skating basically as hard as he can. A nice attempt that draws a penalty. Looks like he collides with the net. His glove comes off and he looks like he's in pain in the corner, but I think he's okay. Scared there for a second. Then on online forums and then talking with my friends, we were asking ourselves, what the heck is Doc going to do? Is he finally going to get a goal? I think somebody said something along the lines, we're putting too much pressure on it, or we're jinxing him. Why don't we just guess that he's going to take a bad penalty tonight and not score any goals? Well, that it comes true, unfortunately. Getting really frustrated with Doc. I'm not going to hide it anymore. I know we have to be patient, but what's it going to take for him to reach his previous level of success? Because we're not anywhere around that right now. Anyway, Montreal kills off that penalty, and actually they absorb Doc's penalty by drawing their own penalty and absolutely dominating puck possession. None of that matters. Nobody scores, but the game ends and Montreal is victorious. 5-1 is the final. Lots of good stuff to love in this game. I think Montreal would have won this game no matter what. They looked dominant in this game, but those penalties were crushing for Detroit. I got a feel for them a little bit because we've been on the other end of that a lot lately. In fact, last night's game was kind of like that, and we still managed to win. Alex Carey looks great. The boys were clicking. The first line looks good, and the depth lines look great. It's the second line. There's got to be something's got to give. Doc he's pulling that down. I like Caulfield tonight. He was making a lot of space. He's a team player. He's not focusing on goals. He was making some physical pushes that allowed for some offense, and I like that from Caulfield. He has a big criticism. People say that he's one-dimensional. So it was really good to see that. Aside from all the benchmarks that some of the players had tonight, like Suzuki and Gallagher, Emil Heineman moving up to 6th place for rookies in terms of points was huge. But Lane Hudson is literally 2 points behind Matvei Michkov for the leader in points for NHL rookies. If he could keep this pace and be close to Michkov, I don't see how he doesn't win, aside from politics, because what's sexier than a defenseman as Calder winner? A forward. All right, I digress. So no game tomorrow night. It's Monday night is the last game, right? Monday night, we play the Blue Jackets again. That should be a win, right? We won twice already. And then no games again until Saturday, the 28th, when we play the Panthers. And then the night after that against Tampa. And then the 31st against Vegas. So those games should take the wind out of our sails for the new year. Nah, you know what? I actually think if we won one of those games, it would be great. I think I'm going to temper my expectations, but you never know. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope everything is going all right with you. I know this time of the year can be difficult for some individuals. I want to let you know if you're looking for somebody to talk to, I'm down in those comments. Let me know how you're doing. Even if it's just good stuff, you know, that you need to unpack. You know, times are tough. If you're a Canadian, times are pretty tough. There's a lot of weirdness going on. That's every year though, isn't it? Anyway, I want you to take care of yourselves. The holidays are right around the corner. Anyway, I want you to take care of yourselves. Christmas is right around the corner. Should be a blast. Hope you can spend it with your family and friends. What are your thoughts on eggnog? It's a controversial one, isn't it? Some people like it. Some people don't like it at all and think it's disgusting. Did you know that eggnog in French is lait de poule? That means chicken's milk. Do chickens have nipples? All right, we'll end it there. That's a good thing to end on. Think about it. Like the video. It helps me out with search results or something. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I'd love to have you. And as always, I'll see you down below in the comments.